Hello, everyone, and welcome back to Beyond the Gates channel. Hope you're having a wonderful day. Before we begin, don't forget to subscribe and hit like for more daily drama updates and spoilers. Your support truly means a lot and helps our channel grow every day. The drama is about to explode in Beyond the Gates, and next week promises to push several dangerous secrets closer to the surface. Bill is finally out of the hospital, but instead of returning to a peaceful life, he may walk straight into a scene that changes everything. At Uptown, Bill spots Hayley and Randy sitting together, laughing and talking as though they have nothing in the world to worry about, while Chelsea is struggling with fears that feel far too familiar to ignore. At the same time, Heather is closing in on Andre, dragging his dangerous past back into the present and leaving him with fewer places to hide. As the week of August 24 to 28 unfolds, old trauma, jealousy, murder, betrayal, and hidden motives begin colliding in ways that could have devastating consequences for everyone involved. Chelsea, meanwhile, is finding herself haunted by the past all over again. It has been exactly 1 year since Allison kidnapped her, and the anniversary is stirring up memories and fears that she has tried desperately to put behind her. Now, Chelsea is receiving unsettling phone calls, and something about them feels too deliberate to dismiss as a strange coincidence. She opens up to Kat, making it clear that she believes there is something much more sinister happening behind the calls, insisting that they are not random and that she knows they are connected to Allison. Chelsea's fear is serious enough to worry Kat, who realizes that her friend may have a very real reason to be frightened. Unable to simply sit back and wonder what might be happening, Kat heads to the precinct and seeks out Jacob, where she places a disturbing possibility directly in front of him. What if Allison escaped? While Chelsea's fears send Kat searching for answers, another complicated relationship is creating its own storm. Eva and Kat will always be connected by blood because they are half-sisters. But their bond carries another powerful connection as well. One that can never be forgotten, because Kat donated part of her liver to Eva. Despite everything they have endured and sacrificed for one another, that history does not mean the two women will suddenly become completely comfortable around each other. Their complicated dynamic takes another turn when Eva walks into Orphe Jeans and sees Isaiah and Kat laughing together, clearly enjoying each other's company. The sight immediately changes the atmosphere for Eva, and jealousy flashes across her face as she walks toward them. Then, almost as if she wants to make her feelings unmistakable, Eva greets Kat before kissing Isaiah, a very public gesture that seems to say without hesitation that he is her man. Eva's behavior makes it clear that she is feeling territorial, and the jealousy behind that reaction raises an obvious question. Does she genuinely have something to worry about? Kat and Isaiah may simply be sharing a lighthearted moment, but from Eva's perspective, seeing them together is enough to awaken every insecurity she has been trying to control. The situation could easily become another emotional fracture between the half-sisters, especially when so much complicated history already exists between them. Yet, while Eva is fighting to protect her relationship, Hayley and Randy are dealing with something far darker at Uptown. Their laughter isn't coming from harmless flirting or an innocent conversation. They are discussing Bill's death, and the casual way they talk about it makes the situation even more disturbing. At Uptown, Hayley and Randy are practically celebrating the possibility that Bill will soon be gone. Hayley talks about whether they have had any luck, even casually suggesting that Bill will have stopped breathing by the time she returns, before she and Randy begin laughing together. There is something chilling about how easily they discuss such a horrifying outcome, as though they are already imagining the life that will come afterward. And behind their conversation is an enormous financial motive, because both of them are undoubtedly thinking about the $10 million life insurance payout waiting on the other side of Bill's death. For Hayley and Randy, the possibility of murder has become tangled together with dreams of wealth, freedom, and a future built on someone else's disappearance. But neither of them realizes that Bill is already watching. Outside Uptown, Bill stands looking through the window and what he sees is enough to send a dangerous wave of suspicion through him. He watches Hayley and Randy laughing together, completely unaware of the conversation they were having moments earlier about killing him. From the outside, Bill has every reason to believe that something intimate and secretive is happening between them, especially after everything his daughters and his ex-wife have been telling him about Hayley and Randy. His expression darkens as the voices of doubt inside his head begin connecting the pieces in the worst possible way, convincing him that Hayley may be having an affair. Yet the bitter irony is that the truth is far worse than an affair could ever be. Bill doesn't know that the two people he sees laughing together may actually be discussing how to make sure he never gets another breath. The tension then shifts to Bill's office at the law firm, where Danny and Hayley once again find themselves locked in the latest round of their bitter war. Their conflict has become almost impossible to separate from the tangled relationships surrounding Andre, and neither woman seems willing to surrender an inch. Donnie fiercely defends what she shares with Andre, insisting that Hayley could never truly understand their relationship because it is rooted in love. But Hayley refuses to accept that explanation, especially when she believes Danny continues to interfere with her marriage and pursue the man she considers hers. Her response carries all the resentment that has been building between them, accusing Danny of constantly sniffing around her marriage and her man. The confrontation between Danny and Hayley is more than another argument. It is another reminder that Andre's relationships have become the center of a much larger emotional battlefield. Every accusation exposes another wound, and every attempt to defend a relationship only seems to deepen the hostility between the women. But while Hayley is busy fighting Danny, Andre has a completely different problem closing in around him. His past has returned in the form of Heather Wallach, and this time she isn't staying at a safe distance. Andre now knows that Heather has met with Danny several times, which means the danger he has been trying to contain is getting closer and closer to the people around him. Heather's growing presence is becoming impossible for Andre to ignore, and the fact that she is getting closer to Donnie makes the situation even more threatening. Andre has every reason to fear what Heather might reveal, what she might demand, and how much damage she could cause if she decides to expose the secrets buried in his past. Even Uncle Ted can sense that something is wrong, confronting his nephew and asking whether Andre is in trouble. The question lands heavily because, despite Andre's efforts to maintain control, the walls around him are clearly beginning to close in. Heather is no longer simply a ghost from another chapter of his life. She is an active threat standing in the present. And soon, that threat leads directly to another confrontation in a hotel room. Andre and Heather are destined to meet again, and the atmosphere is charged with the kind of tension that suggests neither one of them has forgotten what came before. When Andre arrives, Heather makes it clear that she expected him, telling him that she knew he wouldn't be able to stay away. Her confidence suggests that she understands exactly how much power she has over him, and that realization could be the most dangerous part of their encounter. Andre may want to believe he can control the situation, but Heather's return has already proven that his past will not simply disappear because he wishes it would. Every step he takes to protect himself may only pull him deeper into the trap. Then, just as the pressure reaches another level, the focus shifts to a phone screen carrying two ominous words. Tick-tock. The message comes from an unknown caller, but viewers already know the identity hiding behind that mystery. It is Heather, the woman who has been steadily tightening her grip around Andre. The countdown-like message feels less like a warning and more like a threat, suggesting that whatever Heather wants from him, she is no longer willing to wait forever. Somewhere in the middle of all this chaos, Danny suddenly turns her attention toward Andre and says his name, immediately raising another question. What exactly does Danny want to know? And when Andre is finally forced to answer her, will he tell her the truth or give her another story designed to keep his secrets buried? As the week unfolds, every storyline seems to be moving toward the same dangerous crossroads. Chelsea is terrified that Allison may have escaped. Kat is caught between concern and complicated family dynamics, and Eva's jealousy threatens to ignite another confrontation with her half-sister. Across town, Bill is unknowingly standing closer to the truth about Hayley and Randy than anyone realizes, while Hayley and Danny continue their bitter struggle over Andre and the relationship surrounding him. And looming over everything is Heather, whose return has transformed Andre's past into an immediate and deeply personal threat. With Bill watching, Chelsea fearing the worst, Eva growing territorial, and Heather counting down the seconds, Beyond the Gates is heading into a week where secrets may finally become impossible to hide. The danger surrounding Bill becomes even more unsettling once the pieces of the larger scheme begin to come into focus. From his position outside Uptown, he has no idea that the laughter he witnessed between Hayley and Randy was connected to a plan involving his own death, yet what he sees is enough to plant a dangerous suspicion in his mind. For Bill, the scene looks like confirmation of everything he has been hearing from the people closest to him. And that could make him react before he understands what is really happening. The cruelest part is that the truth is sitting only a few feet away from him, hidden behind the glass, while Hayley and Randy remain completely unaware that their private conversation has been witnessed. What began as a secret discussion about a $10 million payout may now have a witness, and that witness is the very man they were talking about eliminating. If Bill starts digging for answers, Hayley and Randy could suddenly find themselves facing a problem they never expected. Hayley's situation is already complicated enough because her battle with Danny continues to keep Andre at the center of their conflict. Every time these two women cross paths, the tension feels heavier, as though another unresolved grievance is waiting to explode beneath the surface. Danny remains convinced that what she shares with Andre is genuine and rooted in love, while Hayley sees that declaration as nothing more than an excuse for Danny to continue interfering in her marriage. Neither woman is prepared to step aside, and neither seems willing to acknowledge how much damage their rivalry is creating around them. Their confrontation inside Bill's office only adds another layer to the chaos, because while they argue about love, loyalty, and marriage, Hayley is simultaneously hiding a potentially deadly secret involving Bill. The contrast makes the scene even more dangerous. One woman is defending her connection to Andre, while the other is carrying a secret that could destroy far more than a relationship. And while Hayley is fighting one battle, Andre is struggling to survive another. Heather Wallach's return has turned his past into something immediate, something he can no longer lock away behind closed doors and forgotten memories. The fact that Heather has already met with Danny is particularly alarming, because it means she is not simply approaching Andre directly, she may be gathering information from the people around him. Andre knows that every conversation Heather has could bring her closer to exposing whatever he has been desperate to protect. Even Uncle Ted can see the warning signs, and his question about whether Andre is in trouble forces Andre to confront the possibility that his secret world is beginning to become visible to everyone around him. For someone who has spent so much time controlling the narrative, losing control may be the one thing Andre fears most. Heather, however, appears to have no intention of letting him regain that control. Their next hotel confrontation carries the unmistakable feeling of unfinished business. And Heather's confidence when Andre appears makes it clear that she believes she has the upper hand. She knows he came back, and she knows that means he still has something to lose. Her words at the door suggest that she has been waiting for this moment, perhaps knowing all along that Andre would eventually return to her. The power between them is complicated, dangerous, and deeply personal, because whatever connects them also gives Heather leverage over him. Andre may be hoping to contain the situation, but Heather seems determined to remind him that she is not a problem he can simply walk away from. Then comes the mysterious phone message, and suddenly the atmosphere becomes even darker. The words "tick-tock" appearing on the screen transform the situation into a countdown, leaving Andre with the unmistakable impression that time is running out. The unknown caller may appear anonymous, but the audience knows exactly who is behind it, making the message even more chilling because Heather is no longer hiding her presence. She wants Andre to know that she is watching, waiting, and deciding how far this game will go. And just when the pressure reaches its peak, Danny turns her attention toward Andre and says his name, creating the perfect cliffhanger. Whatever she wants to ask him could force Andre into the most dangerous choice of all. Reveal a painful truth, or lie again and risk losing everything when the truth finally comes out? Meanwhile, Chelsea's fear continues to grow as the anniversary of her kidnapping draws her deeper into memories she desperately wants to escape. The phone calls are not simply unsettling, they are making her question whether the nightmare she thought was over has somehow returned. Kat takes her concerns seriously enough to go directly to Jacob, and the theory she places before him could change the entire investigation. If Allison really did escape, then Chelsea may not be imagining the danger at all. The possibility means someone connected to her past could once again be moving through her present, watching her, calling her, and waiting for the right moment to make contact. What happens next could depend on whether Jacob believes Kat's theory before the situation becomes something much more dangerous. At the same time, Eva's jealousy introduces another emotional threat, one that could explode in a completely different way. Seeing Kat and Isaiah together at Orphe Jean's is enough to awaken Eva's territorial instincts, and her decision to kiss Isaiah in front of Kat makes her feelings impossible to misunderstand. She wants Kat to know exactly where she stands, but the gesture may reveal more about Eva's own insecurity than it does about Isaiah's loyalty. Kat and Eva already carry a complicated history, strengthened by the extraordinary sacrifice Kat made when she donated part of her liver to Eva. Yet, that sacrifice has never magically erased the tension between them. Instead, their connection remains a complicated mixture of family, gratitude, resentment, and emotional competition. If Eva continues reacting from jealousy, the relationship between the sisters could become even more strained. And somewhere in the middle of all these separate storms stands Bill, unknowingly surrounded by people whose secrets could completely change his future. He has survived the hospital, but surviving may prove to be only the beginning of his problems. The image of Hayley and Randy laughing together is now burned into his mind. And if he begins believing that they are romantically involved, he may start questioning everything Hayley has told him. His suspicions could lead him to investigate, confront them, or make a decision that neither of them expects. But the closer Bill gets to the truth, the more dangerous the situation becomes for Hayley and Randy, because they are not simply hiding an affair, they are hiding a plan that involves his death and a massive insurance payout. That is what makes the coming episodes so dangerous. Almost every character is operating with only part of the truth. Chelsea knows something feels wrong, but does not know whether Allison is really back, while Kat is trying to determine whether the nightmare has returned. Eva sees a threat in the friendship between Kat and Isaiah, even if the situation may not be what she thinks, while Danny believes she understands her connection with Andre, but may still be missing critical pieces of his past. Bill believes Hayley and Randy could be having an affair, unaware that their secret is far more sinister. And Andre is desperately trying to stay ahead of Heather while knowing she is already reaching into his life. With so many characters holding incomplete versions of the truth, one revelation could cause multiple storylines to collapse at once. And that is where the real suspense of the August 24 to 28 episodes lies. Bill may be out of the hospital, but his recovery could be overshadowed by the horrifying discovery that the people around him may be planning something deadly. Chelsea's fears could prove justified if Allison truly escaped. Eva's jealousy could fracture an already fragile family bond. And Heather's relentless pursuit could finally force Andre to confront the past he has been running from. Meanwhile, Danny's question hangs over Andre like a blade, because once she demands an explanation, there may be no safe answer left for him. The countdown has already begun, and with Heather saying tick-tock, it feels as though the entire world of Beyond the Gates is moving toward a moment when someone will finally be forced to tell the truth. The only question is whether the truth will save them or destroy everything they have been desperately trying to protect.